I will do just as you've asked. Um, uh, my avatar email is still active, but you know how to get a hold of me, and give me a call or drop me a line next week. I'm happy to go over anything you want, and the team here will obviously be equally accessible. Well, Maxwell, you're probably right. I think for environmental artists, the PC is going to be where it's at. In fashion, hopefully it's something that you can, write once and deploy many places. The goal is for just to increase the market. Gosh, DirectX 9 support. I have no idea. Probably not at this point. Ruben, I thought that it did. If you think it does, it probably does. You know way more about it than I do. I in fact, didn't even know that it didn't do DirectX 9. But at this point, I don't know. I'm sure that the company wouldn't spend any resources on trying to go backwards to do it. You can't even buy a card anymore that isn't DirectX 9 compatible, and one day's work on iOS or Android, as far as user base goes, would probably be far more valuable than doing legacy on PC or. But again, I'm not the expert on that. Thanks, Ruben. Yeah, there you go. That's the plan. Well, Ruben, that's a good question. We had looked into a plugin to bring that WebKit rendering in World, and we had it working here in the studio. But frankly, and I'm sure many of you have experienced this, it had been decided it was never really all that stable. And with the memory constraints that we were facing, it already we're already bumping up against the limit. The decision was made for stability's sake, since it's not like this is we're a rock here, to hold that off. There's nothing really holding us back from doing it beyond memory allocation and stability. I don't think it'll probably be added. The very, 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 very talented engineer who had put that into the system is integral to getting Blue Mars running on iOS, and I just can't see why we would take him off that project to get the web render in. Certainly not at this point. Yeah, you got it. I don't know. The forums, I don't know. Well, hold on, let me see. What? No, we're not. The answer is no. The answer is no on the forums. What are my plans? So I have a few things up in the air. I was thinking about opening a burrito stand in Shanghai. I hear that would be fun. Beyond that, I am planning on going back to the mainland. I'm sadly going to leave for Hawaii. Beyond that, I've got a couple balls in the air. I don't know yet what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to take a little vacation. I'm going to ride the train for a little while, and then we'll see how it goes. Davey, I wish I could. It just takes too much work. I wouldn't do anything without this team, that's for sure. Now that is what I call an outfit. Oh gosh, I would love to come through Alaska. It's the only state I've never been to, and one of these days I'm going to get there. If you on a clear morning, if you close your eyes and think just right, it turns out you can. It's all how if you believe, you can do it. Regarding stability over functionality, yes, there's a night and day difference. I mean, it hurts me to say this, but the mobile version is already more stable than the PC version. Not in the short term. The landscapes will not. It is just way too much for that little machine to manage just yet. But this is only going to go in one direction. So one of these days. Yeah, I think the first stage will be smaller environments. There'll be single rooms, kind of an extension of the residences today where you can place items and decorate before we get the large rendered environments. It'll start essentially crawl, walk, run. We're going to start out with avatars that you can share, then avatars you can customize, then multi-user experiences, and multi-user with environments. And then kind of the opposite when it comes to convenience, that it gets really easy to share your characters and share your content with other people, doing it through Facebook, doing it instantly on mobile. That's going to be the focus of the team. Yeah, I feel you there. Yes, it will be a free app with in-app purchases. So the plan so far is that the economy works the same way. If Apple's going to take a cut, if you buy your credits through the phone, it'll be at essentially a different exchange rate. If you buy them through the PC, it'll work the way that it always did. So all of the catalog in stores and the mobile app will be universal, and in the PC will stay the way that it has been. Well, regarding the developer's kit, I can't tell you. There aren't as many of us, so you might not get all the answers that you would have had. But it's still available. It still does all the things that it does today. How do we generate revenue? It's essentially the same model as we always have. It's about revenue sharing on transactions. The system only works when people are buying and selling. We wanted to create an ecosystem where that would be fun and accessible, and we should only profit when our customers do. That was always the long-term vision for the platform. No, you do not need a net connection to interact with the avatar. Certainly not locally. Obviously, chat and such would be. Mako, the plan is to market I'm fairly certain about this. It's an in-app store. It's not a separate site. It would happen directly in the application. When is it scheduled to appear? I don't know. I know the first version is February. The goal, I believe, for the in-app store is maybe March or April. No, Mac users will not be able to use Blue Mars without Boot Camp. I'm sorry. There are just not enough of you Mac users. I know it doesn't feel that way, but there just aren't. I'm sorry. Blue Mars on the PC is DirectX, and Crytek never bothered to port it, so we couldn't afford to do it either. Yeah, there you go. Well, Dave, you might be right. You're welcome to give it a shot. You know, Ruben, that's a great question. I do not know the answer to that. I could be. If it probably, I don't know. Certainly the character renderer, yeah. Generic. You know, it's never too late to do that. You may be right, but you know, the user base for Blue Mars will grow. I hope this is just a speed bump in the company here. Oh yeah, Connect. I don't know. You know, I think that's going to take a hacker. Hopefully, it would. We can open things up. Then maybe that could happen. I'd like to certainly work on that as well. We'll never see Blue Mars on Xbox. I'm sorry. I know them well enough. That ain't going to happen. Yeah, that would be super awesome to have a direct control from Kinect. Yeah, I agree. It is a wonderful community, and you never know. And if we blow up the iOS and Android versions, there's a really great argument to you know, double down on PC development, but we got to do that first. Maxwell, I agree. Angela, let us know. That sounds awesome. I'm not sure I do. Well, it won't cost that much for long. It doesn't cost them very much to make it, and I think you'll see that price come down eventually. You know, Maxwell, I don't know. Probably not, just because you know Apple's stance on that sort of thing. They do not approve. Personally, I think that's weird, but it is the way that it is. It's the unfortunate reality that we live in, at least here in the States. It's kind of prudish. You know, you've never seen, you know, a Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo to or Google or any of those such to make an acquisition or invest in a company that has that type of content on the platform. I won't mention any names, but that probably made a difficulty for other virtual world companies too. Fogwoman, I agree. We actually had a plan to Hypatia, I hear what you're saying. It's a well, put it this way: that you couldn't run Second Life on the iPad. Yes,